My name is Kelly Snowden. I'm with WFG National Title. I am from a national company, so I can get you hooked up with escrow officers in Texas. I have sold lots of accounts in Texas. I'm very familiar with that area. And Arizona, we definitely have escrow officers in Arizona and Texas. And then everything California, I can handle here in my own office. And basically today, we just want to thank you for coming. We want to make sure that if you have the opportunity, you can learn a new tool so that you can generate business. And then on Wednesday, the 7th, we're going to teach you how to take the lists and reverse farm into your social media, your Facebook and your Instagram. And in order to do that, and in order to attend, you'll need to email me at ksnowden@wfgtitleco.com. Yep, we can help you in Nevada, James, no problem. And if you email me, I can get you the register link for Wednesday's class, Wednesday the 7th. It's at 10 a.m. I believe it's at 10 a.m. It may be 11, I'll double check. And basically, we're just trying to help you think outside of the box with farming, because farming has evolved into a lot of technology. So we want you to be able to generate business for yourself, for refis, and also if you wanted to generate a lead for your realtors. So we will hold another class for realtors, and you will be welcome to join in. But basically, Jim is my vendor. He is the pro at these, how to do the searches, and I'm regulated by the Department of Insurance. So there's certain things I can do for you and certain things I need Jim or a lender to do. And I may call on a few of you. I don't see Ed on the call yet. Do you see Ed, Jim?
No, not yet.
Okay, so when Ed gets to join, if not, I'll call on a few of my local people that I know, and feel free to ask questions, join in, because this class is all about you and for you. And basically, we just appreciate you. And Jim, feel free to go ahead.
All right, thank you. So a lot to cover today, and it can get a little bit intense. So because there is so much, and it's just so spot on for what everyone's on the call for. So first and foremost, this is being recorded. Kelly will have the recording link this afternoon. Request it from her. She'll get it over to you. A few quick things here. I put in the chat, if you go up to the top, we have a nice YouTube channel. So some of the things that I talk about today, if you want to learn more, YouTube channel, okay? And then if you need help for support, the email address is there, ttbhelp@benutech. List services. I'm going to talk about list services in a few minutes. That's huge. And I'm going to give you a little bit of quick background. Yes, I sound like I'm from the East Coast. I am. But as you can see from my background, I live in San Diego now. And I lived here 2 years ago. I was in Nevada. I was in Las Vegas. Someone mentioned Nevada. So shout out, as I say, to Nevada, but I moved back to San Diego recently. Love it. Our company is Benutech. You might have heard of Revo Gateway. We are in Costa Mesa. I've been with the company 7 years, and I do a lot of presentations, trainings. I am available if you need some one-on-ones, if you have some quick questions. My email address, let me just put that in, is jdubois@benutech.com. Pretty simple. Hit me up if you need something. I'm here for you. All right. So the program is free. It's called Fetch. It also goes by Title Toolbox. I am in my customer service login because I have some money in my account. When you log in, you're going to have $ and zeros. This is not a sales call, but as Kelly said, this is a compliant system. So she provides you the portal. There are some great free lists in here. This is one heck of a power tool for lenders. And part of Kelly's discussion we had before the call was if you're partnering with an agent. That is the absolute best case scenario for this program. I'm going to show you doors where 80% one of you will close a deal. One of you will. A lender or an agent. Can't guarantee it, but my gut feeling is it's that high of a success rate. All right, so as I said, you log in, Kelly gets you set up. I recommend putting some money in because you will spend a little bit of money. I don't want to use the term cheap, but I will. You're not going to find a cheaper, better value alternative to data. So our data comes from CoreLogic, among other resources. Our phone numbers and emails, I'll talk about that. Let's hop into it right now. I don't want to get too disjointed today, guys, but phone numbers and emails. So give my computer one sec. All right, so I do a lot of trainings, everything from the left to where my green cursor is free. So the point of mentioning trainings is I had an agent once, she said, that's my favorite F word, free. So everything to the left is free. Those are what we call assessor records. So assessor records are property address, mailing address, property characteristics, owner's name. Premier data, here's where you spend a little bit of money. I am definitely going through all three of these in a minute. But phones and emails, leads, mortgage information. There's two ways for you to get huge numbers here. So let's start in. And again, I'm going to take some shortcuts. The YouTube videos will help and the recording today. Go to farming, clear your search. Go back to farming. I can do a radius search, say around your office, your house, people that you've refied. I can do a boundary search or I can do a straight up area search. Let me say this, when you start using the program, one of the huge benefits is you're going to get a weekly update on all of your saved farms. So if you had 6, 8, 10 farms, 1,000 properties in it, whatever, we're watching that for you. You're going to get an update. The update is going to have two types of information. Most importantly and pertinent to you, and I say you guys a lot, most to you guys, is refis in your farm. You're going to get the property name, the owner, the lender company, great information. In this system, super easy, I'll show you how to market to nearby neighbors. I don't have to say this, but I will. As lenders, you know when someone refis what that property owner does, they go out and they brag about it. Oh, I'm saving $300 a month, I just refi. That's a walking advertisement for you. So where you're farming, you like to think you're the only loan officer, lender farming there. You know, that's not the case. So if someone grabs some business from you, huge benefit, market to those nearby neighbors. And like Kelly said, if she's going to show you in another class, social media, awesome. You can get the phone numbers and emails because you know if I go on Google today and I type in, I want to refi my house, the next time I log into Facebook, what do I see? Every loan officer from, you know, Chula Vista to Los Angeles, right, in the area. So you want to take part of that. If you buy the phone numbers, if you buy the emails, take it a step up. Do the text messaging, do the social media. All right, so we are a national program, and someone said they're in Arizona. I can tell you Arizona is incredibly hot for a lot of the property. So let's stay in California. California, give me a county, guys. Someone just give me a county here.
Santa Clara.
Los Angeles.
Santa Clara, okay. Oh, okay, well, let's do Santa Clara first, and then we can do LA afterwards. And then give me a city or a zip code.
San Jose.
I think they have a hockey team, don't they? Just kidding. So you work your way across the tab, property characteristics, all property types in here. If you're specializing in commercial, there's tons of multifamily options. But for today's call, let's just keep it simple. It defaults to singles and condos. I work my way across assessments and taxes. All right, going to pause here a minute. One thing is this, I say, if you wake up in the morning and you don't have any stress in your life, no COVID, no financial hits, and I typically say this about agents, you really don't have a need to talk to an agent or a lender. So we show you, the point of this program is we show you the people that you can help. That's huge. If you use that mindset, hey, it's not trying to get your business, I'm trying to help you. And these are the people we show you that have some sort of stress. So the first free list, and I tend to grade my list from like B+, A++. This is a solid list. And right here, tax delinquencies. So most recent year of tax delinquencies, I go back 5 years. And let's see what we get here. I haven't checked Santa Clara, so I'm hoping we have tax delinquencies there, San Jose. So how about that, guys? Awesome. 1,279 people cannot pay their taxes or had tax delinquency in the last 5 years. And I picked 5 years because you know that they can float. San Jose doesn't want to take property. If you are a property owner, you make an agreement with the city, hey, I'll pay, especially with COVID, I'll pay you what I can pay you, I'll pay the interest, they let you float. But eventually push comes to shove. That's a very solid list. So you could just market to them. But where we're talking with loan officers today and lenders, you can take it a step further. Mortgage information. So this filter right here, everything on this page, and when I say records or properties, it's 5 cents a piece for mortgage information. So the first thing I might want to know is, out of that 1,279 doors, which is a huge number of tax defaults, by the way, I typically see maybe 100, 200. That's huge. That's really
There's
to
a
be a
million
concern of
people.
mine.
There's a
Yeah,
million.
but I've done it's a million people in San Diego too, but I never ever see quite that many. That's what, but I'm not knocking it. We want those numbers. That's the whole point of this program. We want these large numbers. So going on the loan type, I know most lenders are going after conventional and FHA. I can do one at a time or both. So that's where you're going to train your eyes for. And then first loan estimated interest rate. I work with lenders all the time. I know you can do better than 4%. So out of those 1,200 tax defaults, let's get the count. Wow, you have 494 owners that you can beat their interest rate. How many of those do you think you can close? The answer, a lot. Why would you not refi? Why would you not refi? You could beat the loan. And that's a huge number. That is sweet. If you're taking count today, like I like to keep a score sheet sometimes, 494 doors. The next question really is loan to value. Do they have enough equity? Right? So I don't have to tell you guys loan to value and equity are the opposite. So if I wanted loan to value, and I wanted loan to value of say 40% or less, so they have equity. Out of the 490 some odd, 244 that have equity. That's not counting their down payment. That goes by loan date. How's that? That's a gold list. That's an A++ list. That's A++. Questions, Kimberly? Looks like you do.
For $12, that's awesome.
That's a lot of business. It's no-brainer business, right?
Yeah.
It's no-brainer. They've got a tax problem. They've got other bills. Let's face it. You can beat their interest rate, and they have equity. When I see these lists, I think, man, I could close these blindfolded. You guys are professional. All right, so I'm going to come back to this. Let's just take it a couple of steps further. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways to tweak this. And I'm going to show you how you're going to get an agent involved. Lead, again, I'm taking some shortcuts, but the general point I want to make is you're going to work your way across these tabs. Leads. You can pile on. You can pile on. I mean, you can't get much better than what I just showed you guys. Really, you can't. But you can. Kind of funny I say that, but you can. So drop down. How many affidavits of death? Those are pre-probate. So someone's got a house with a tax problem. Bankruptcy are still in the courts. Divorces are still in the courts. Those are great add-ons. I will tell you, don't have to, but you know those are heavily marketed to. So in our system, our company, Benutech, right here, guys, liens. Our company is one of the few companies, this is all public information, but we're one of the few companies that give you liens this quick, this easy, and this cheap. 75 cents a lien. So as Kimberly pointed out, yeah, it was like, I can't remember what the cost was here, $12. How many have liens? This is so incredible. So in the last 12 months, let's talk about liens. How many of those 200, we may not have any ones that have liens. We'll see. Wow, 6 people with liens. OMG. It just keeps getting better. So one of the questions I asked Kelly before we started was, are you marketing in the same place? Because we don't want to converge this whole call onto these 6 property owners, right? So, going to do a couple of things for you. I'm going to, first of all, go to phones and emails. Number 1, these are not scrubbed. Yes, you will get the same criteria. Yes, if I'm searching the same exact zip codes and everything, you're going to get the same exact leads. So that's why we have people from Nevada, Arizona, Texas. Great. If you work in the same office, then you may want to do a whiteboard, make sure you're not really pestering property owners. Second of all, we use a company by the name of Data Finder. Quality is very high. In the scheme of things, we've had no complaints. Data Finder or us match about 75%. And this is going to be long-winded, and my apologies, but 75%, please remember that. So if I had 6 doors here, I should get probably 4 phone numbers, and the majority are mobile. 5 cents a match, and 35% match at 7 cents for email. So I'm going to buy both phones and email. And the records. See all those red X's? If I X out any of those, it gets rid of that field. But look at how we've drilled down, guys. We started out with the county, the city, singles and condos. We added tax defaults, loan rate, loan to value, and liens. That's the full, I like using pizza analogies. That's a loaded pizza right there. All right, 6 properties, total of $5.52. Pay now. I'm going to name this farm. I'm going to name it Kelly Loaded Pizza Farm. How's that? It's Friday. I feel like having some fun.
It's okay.
Maybe a pizza.
And don't forget today, the reason we're having this class is because there's a spring special. So you want to mention that too, because there's a discount. So basically, if you were to purchase $20, you get $10 free. If you purchase $50, you get $25 free.
Yeah.
And if you buy $100, you get $50 free.
Right.
So, other companies want you to do a larger limit, and you're able to get $30 worth of leads for $20 today. And that special runs until February 16th for Fetch for us with Benutech.
Right. So I just purchased those records. I'm going to display them in records and properties as synonymous. Here we go. Here's 6 properties. Going to show you the export sheet. It's an awesome amount of information you're getting here. And I'm going to take you a little bit deeper into the program. So Luis Ortega. Here's his phone number, by the way. We'll talk about phone numbers and emails in a minute. Looks like we matched all those phones. So let's scroll over here. Non-owner. all of his loan information. How's that for interest rate, guys? Right? First loan, second loan, if it's on there, if he has a second loan, this person does, those are the ones you want to go after, consolidate the loans, 4%, 6% second loan, OMG, right? Keep going, keep going. Outstanding loans, here we go, guys. Let me talk about lien. Keep in mind, I only did San Jose and I drilled down. I'm going to show you in a minute a blanket lien search. And this is where you partner with an agent and you totally kill it. But right now, for this particular group, the liens are all types of liens. At the top, the big one, IRS 1040 tax lien. I can tell you right now, those liens, they're probably going to lose their house unless they have a lot of equity and they're going to refi, because the IRS is something you don't want a long-term lien with, and that's where the agent comes in. So if you follow me, code violation, $431. Good lien to refi. You know they have equity. Add up all those toppings. Here's another one, $6,000. That's a good one. Look at this one. There's a $90,000 lien. That's huge. The liens can be astronomical. You know, and I know like San Jose is an expensive neighborhood. Maybe, you know, this person has the equity. Maybe that you can refi. If not, this is the one where you send this over to an agent. Here's another one. These are great. Anything, in my opinion, guys, anything under $10,000 is refi material, because they should have the equity and clean up all their bills. And again, this is all no-brainer stuff because you know you can beat their interest rate. Awesome, awesome list. So one of the things I want to, yeah, go ahead.
Where it says DeMar doc type, what does that mean?
Oh, that I have to say I don't know. I don't know what that is. Can't tell you. Don't know. Abstract, maybe abstract. I don't know. I'm guessing. Good question. Good eyes. I can't answer it. Doesn't really come into play. I can make something up though. All right, so follow me on this. Here's an awesome feature in this system. This person has a $28,000 lien. Scrolling over here. On this program, you can pull a profile, you can do nearby neighbors, whatever you want to do. Remember about the updates? So if I hit the drop-down gear, if I wanted all the nearby neighbors, I can hit nearby neighbors. I don't want to do that right now, but if I did, and I could put in like, say, 200 nearby neighbors, so when you get your weekly updates, if someone had a refi, like at 202 Martin Vale, I could put the address in property search, pull it up, hit nearby neighbors. You're going to get an easy peasy list, and you have an option under export to do labels. So you could have a 250 labels printed out immediately. So the point in showing you this, though, is this one right here, guys, net sheet. Sweet net sheet. We put a lot of work into it. We use Google. If Google plays with us, this is a good one. Google did a really good job on that one. Awesome. This is what it's all about right here. We show you the value of that house if an agent was going to list it, like a Zillow estimate, in the next 30 days. That's our estimate. We're a data company. So you could list this for, you know, just under $1 million. We show you their loan amount. So the bottom line is right there. So that loan amount's the original loan amount, but you know they have equity. So this is a good refi. It's got a pretty hefty, I think it's like $28,000, $29,000 lien. This guy's hurting. So when I say these doors are hot, I mean they're hot. They're incredibly hot. These are the guys. If you remember, when I wake up in the morning, why do I want to talk to an agent or a lender? This is why right here. You can't live with it, especially IRS liens, because there's taxes and fees on that are astronomical. and you will lose a house on that. They're not going to fool around. These other ones, yeah, it could go back into the courts or whatever. All right, so a couple things. Export. This is a sweet one for you guys as well. CSV Farm. That's the only option right there to put everything in. I can name it, whatever I want, put it on my desktop, hit save. Here we go. Give it a second. My Excel's been kind of not wanting to play well here, so let's see if it works. Yeah, it's going to work. Let's see it. All right, so you can, no matter how big the sheet is. So the first thing I look at on this one is to see if there's multiple properties, which is not, because properties can have multiple liens. Look at this great spreadsheet, guys. Everything on here, owner name, owner information, purchase, date, purchase, price, year built, that's an awesome one, mailing addresses, property characteristics, assessed value, loan amounts. Here's their lenders. Here we go, guys. Here's their lenders. Ed's coming in right now. Here's their lenders. Awesome. Here's their interest rate. Awesome. Loan amount. There you go. What a great spreadsheet. Loan date. Here we go. People with a second loan, as I showed you. Outstanding loan amount. Loan to value. Awesome. Oh, look at that loan to value. They all have nice equity. Here we go. Lien amounts. Phone numbers. Email addresses. What an awesome spreadsheet, guys. This is gold. This is gold. So I see people are kind of busy. They're coming in, coming out. Ed, how you doing, Ed, my friend? We're well into it. This is being recorded. So let me keep talking here a little bit because there's a train of thought here I want to keep going on, okay? So going back here, we were fortunate enough to capture all the phone numbers on 6 of those. I advertised 75. And it depends on how large your business is and who you're partnering with. Because like I said, out of 6 here, they're all reasonable for refi. They really are, based on lien amount. There was that one huge lien amount. Let's see here. Let's see what the lien amount was. There was one huge one, 90,000, this one. 90,000 on that lien amount. What's the property on that one? That was Norbit. Right here, this guy. He's got a $90,000 lien. Let's see if this is a refi or a listing. Wow, he's got $1 million house. So that's he's only got one loan on there. So I'm going to guess that could be a possible refi because in the scheme of things, he's got all the equity in the world. He just might need some cash to pay that lien off. So that's a good one too. So my point is, if I go into farming, a couple things here, farms, save farms, here's where that farm is. And if Ed's just joining in, he's probably thinking, why did you name it Loaded Pizza Farm? Right? That's our joke. You'll have to watch the video to find out. No, I'm just kidding, because we put so many add-ons on it. We put all the toppings on it. Okay, so that's how you would find it. All right, so let's go back in. Let's clear our search. Remember that. Let's go back in, area search. So, someone said LA. Do you want to do the whole city of Los Angeles, whoever that was, or do you want to do a zip code? Zip code?
Orange County.
Well, someone said, yeah, I can do Orange County. It doesn't matter to me. Orange or LA, doesn't matter. And then give me a city or a zip in Orange County. I used to live in Orange County.
Lake Forest.
Right on. All right, Lake Forest. All right, so in Lake Forest, working my way across. singles and condos, could drop out condos if I want, doesn't matter. To be redundant, tax defaults, awesome. That's how we kind of started. Straight up though, straight up. I could go under mortgage information. I don't even need to do this actually. I could. How many people in Lake Forest, conventional FHA, and this is where I go, again, I'm focusing on, I'm focusing on 4% or higher. And I'll open this up to questions in a minute, but I've really got to make a couple of big points here. So give it a minute, guys. Wow, love it. 3,600 doors, you can beat their interest rate. Let me segue a minute. Let me segue. If you remember, phones and emails, we're matching 75%. We were lucky on that first match. We did 6 for 6. That's unusual. 75% is realistic. So out of 3,600 properties, that means if you was going to market by phone number, or even less for email, if you're going to do Facebook, social media, one or the other, you're going to come out with probably about 2,200 phone numbers, or way less on email. So you went and you spent $182, but you didn't get every phone number or email. So where I'm going with this is if you look at the chat window, I put in Brian Fox's email address, and it's just Brian, B-R-I-A-N, @benutech.com. So we offer list services. So if you send Brian an email, hey, saw Jim on Kelly's and Ed's presentation, awesome. Here's what I want. Break it down for him. I want singles, condos, whatever, the interest rate, so on and so forth. He'll come up with the same count, or you can do the count yourself, and you can say, yeah, it shows me 3,649 doors, but I must have the phone numbers with these. I only want properties that you can get. So Brian, and again, you're losing out on 25% of this business because you could snail mail these people. You could. But if you're just calling, you got a call team, you're doing social media, Brian's able to provide you only the 2,200 approximately ones with phone numbers. That spreadsheet I showed you, Brian sends that over to you. He'll take a credit card right over the phone. He'll send it over to you. That's list services. So think about this one. I'm telling you we match 75% phone numbers. So that cuts that list down to about 2,300, 2,200. I know you guys are all math freaks, so good. I was an English major, I'm not. So it's kind of fuzzy math, but 2,200. And then out of that, if you must have email, so you have a phone number and an email, that list is going to get cut way down. So most people go just for phone number. So let me say this. There are some things in here, and since this young lady mentioned LA and Orange County, there are some loan types, if you will, or lead types that you can also ask Brian for. So one of the hot tickets are the hero loans. So hero loan records, Brian can give you. Same thing. I want hero records for whatever, single families, Los Angeles County. Those are awesome. He can get those, and he can also do code violations. Code violations are a good one for an agent or an investor because the property is, pretty much being neglected. On the other hand, say you're prospecting someone with a code violation, they have the equity. Hey, I really do want to fix up my property. Great, it's a refi. That's a great list. So that's all through list services. You can just hit Brian up. All right, so follow me on this. 3,600 doors in Orange County that you can beat their interest rate. Remember the pizza analogy, right? That's awesome. Let's put one topping on this only. My favorite, showed you guys this already, right? You were in love with it. 3,600, let's do the liens. How many we got? 14 doors, there you go. That's 14 hot doors right now today. The 3,600 are a solid A doors, but these are the A++s. All right, so really thank you guys for letting me talk uninterrupted, and that's totally it for right now, but what do you have for questions? Ed, I know you came in late. No worries. Questions, Ed? Questions, Kelly, or anyone on the call? Questions?
I just want to bring up the wallet. When you put in your credit card to buy the lead, you have to let the data fields and the feelers go out to capture the information and bring the information back. So it would be like you're going to the gas station and you put in your credit card. If you said, I want to buy $25 worth of gas, it's going to charge you like how it holds one, it will charge you for the full amount. But say you only got $15, you're going to go inside and get your credit. So when you pull leads, it's important that you leave it sitting, because if you click the list too soon. So what do you think, Jim? 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, so a little bit of correction on that. First of all, I highly recommend using the credit, because we do run promotions like Kelly said, and when you log in under the website, there'll be a flashing icon here, and we are giving a promotion right now. So when you buy, you're going to get 50% more. The thing about the credit is what Kelly said is right, but it only pertains to phone numbers and emails, because we know, like all of these examples I showed you, we know we had those 6 loan and lien. We know we have 3,800 loan records. We know we have those. But the thing is that I wanted to show you is, again, is right here. Give it 1 second, guys. It comes back to phones and emails, actually. Because, again, I mentioned that we use a third-party vendor, so we don't have access to this database. So that's what Kelly's referring to. So we know we have the loan records, the lien records, all the records we know we have. The only records we don't know we have, what the exact count is, are phones and emails. And it does come right back to like, hey, no big deal. We were 6 for 6 on that small match. That's not a big deal. But it is a big deal if you guys are super aggressive and you have a call team and you're expecting phone numbers that you're going to miss out on, say, 2,000 phone numbers on a really big list. So that's a big deal. So my point is like what Kelly was talking about. If I had, like, say, hypothetically a list here of 50 properties and we did the whole pizza thing and then we put phone numbers and emails on it, it would give you X amount. So let's just say it would be $32.50. That's what you would originally, just like she said, a gas station, we're going to ping your account, or if it's your credit, we know you have it, and then we just make the adjustment for the actual purchase afterwards, okay? Yeah, so right on. So again, the only correction to what Kelly said is it only applies to phones and emails since we use a third-party database that we don't have access to.
Because I've had people buy leads and then they clicked the list right away. The data's there right away, but then they didn't allow it enough time. And when they did their form a second time, they got more capture ratio for the emails.
Right, yeah, and what she's saying is, right, and that's kind of like the other point is if you go into farming, farms, save farms. So if you remember this, like first of all, there's a refresh button right here. Second of all, when you buy, say, phones and emails, it'll say EMPH, if that's just a phone number. So this person bought 534. Yeah, so like Kelly's saying, it does take a little bit of time. Like if it's 100 or less, it's pretty much 5 minutes. If it's a really big farm, like say, 2,000 properties, that might take 15, 20 minutes. So but you can export it. I showed you guys how to export. Remember, you just select the farm and then you just hit the export, and that's the only option. So on that export, you can kind of see if you go into the program, the phone numbers and emails. So they're all there. And if you click on the header, it's like a spreadsheet of sends and desends. So if you really, wanted to, you just wait, you can go back in and just go back into go back into farming And if it was really big, you could just hit refresh. But those are really small farms, so it's pretty much instantaneous. All right, other questions? Ed, what do you got?
So let's say someone is doing a bunch of searches. This is their first time coming through on Fetch, and they don't have a specific idea of what they want to get right now. Could they load their wallet and qualify for the discount right now? And that would, yeah, you can. So just load your wallet up is the best idea, and then figure out what you want to search after the fact.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't lose the money. And again, we do run promotions. And if you want, we can get you all set up on our mailing list, because we have a really nice newsletter, a lot of information on that. So we can do that for you. I just need your email addresses sent to Kelly. She can just send it to us and we'll put it on there. One thing I didn't do, and my bad on this, is I didn't require for Zoom, I didn't require pre-registration. I don't know why I didn't do that. I should have, but I didn't. So I don't have a list of registrants on this.
James, can you show me the labels again?
Yeah, sure. So let's say this is a great feature. Say you have a farm, any farm, okay, but let's pick on where it's only 6, this one. Select, so you bring the farm up, and basically export packages up these properties. So if you wanted labels PDF, current homeowner, you may or may not want to exclude trust, hit go. Takes like just seconds to load a list. And these are standard ARI labels. There you go. And you could just, so you could right click, save this as a PDF, or you could print it immediately. And the ARI labels right down here, you probably can't see, it's 5160. How cool is that?
Yep.
You get a mailing right off to really hot doors, and you can buy the phone numbers and emails. So again, I mean, and I know Kelly's going to do the marketing one, but you can hit them every which way. You know, you can call, text, social media, snail mail, any way you want to get to these people. Because again, the mindset is, it's not a sales call for you guys. You're truly helping these people. They're hard up. They're in between a rock and a hard place, for the liens especially. The liens can't, because the thing is, and I asked this question, you make sure you're not all marketing in the same area. You guys are the only people right now marketing to these property owners with liens. That's it. You got it.
Jim,
And
we have a question. And I know Jim
Sure.
already helped me previously. He was able to help my client on Ed's team be able to capture Thai last names, like surnames.
Oh, cool.
So you can search
Yep.
surnames. Can you search ages of the owners?
No.
Or basically, do you do that by showing, 20 plus years they lived in the house?
Right. So good question. So first of all, purchase date. So there's a custom field here. If you did reverse mortgages, empty nesters, and the logic in the program is, do I want empty nesters? Yes, I do, and I'll give you a list. So I make a little joke. If you lived in the property 30 years, there's no age data, but you're old enough to get a discount at Denny's, right? 30 years. So you bought, it always kills Ed, that one, this one. So, but figure it out. I mean, you bought a house in your mid 20s or 30 years old, you're perfect age for reverse mortgages. Or like Kelly said, you can go in and filter by purchase date. Yes. And then the other thing is, and I can never remember this, it's under one of these, let's just see here, right here, under general. So say I had a farm, right? I had a farm up. Owners, first owner, not first name, but the first owner, like husband and wife, usually the male is first. So the first owner's name, I click on it right here, and there's a drop down, contain. So I use this example, and our office is in Irvine or Costa Mesa. There's a huge Vietnamese contingency there. So I had a lender that wanted to market to Vietnamese homeowners. So if you go on Google and you type in common surnames of whatever ethnicity, so in this case, Vietnamese, and I learned something that there's 14 common surnames in the Vietnamese culture that covers 90% of the population. So I just took those surnames, I put them onto a a document and just put comma, space. You have to format it. So Win, Tran, Lee. And then if I just get out and get count, if I don't have a farm, but if I did, I would have all of my owners, 90% of the Vietnamese population in that city or zip. So that's a great workaround for ethnicity. So if you were going, Japanese or Latino, whatever, German, whatever, great workaround. So some of these lists could be pretty long, though. I mean, just so happens 14 for Vietnamese, but it could be, a really long list, and you just have to take some time. The sky's the limit. So if you had 200 German names, say, comma separated. All right. Other questions? Someone asked about do not call. Yeah, these are not scrubbed. It's right up front. We make no bones about this. And there's a reason for that. Two reasons. One is we're not taking the liability. Let's just say I bought a list through this system or any system, and I'm a busy guy. I didn't get to it for a month. Well, between the time that if this was scrubbed, hypothetically, and the time I work on it, 12 or 15 of those people in my farm could have added their names to the do not call list. And then it would be our liability that we provided you numbers that were telling you were scrubbed and when in fact they slipped through. That's number one. Number two is if we removed scrubbed names, then that's going to cut down on people you might want to market to other ways. That you might want to snail mail, even door knock. So the thing is, if you go on Google and you type in scrubbers, do not call scrubbers, there's a bunch of them free or a few cents where you just export the list like I showed you, probably clean it up a little bit and upload it to that system. Or I think Ed might have a resource or Kelly. So yeah, there's not scrub. And yes, this is all going to be recorded and you'll all get a copy of it. Other questions, guys?
Jim, this is Anil. Earlier at
Yes.
the beginning of the session, we talked about that the data could be about 2 weeks old.
Right.
Is there somewhere on the site that it says when the data was last updated so that we know when it is updated?
Yeah, no, not actually on that. But you have the loan date, you have the purchase date. So the only thing you'd really be looking at would be if there was a new transaction there, and like the purchase date, look right here. But the other thing is this. How about this one? This is important since you asked. On the liens, and again, I can't stress enough that the liens are the ticket. But the lien date right here. Let's see here. Lien file date right here. Look at the date on those.
So
How recent
this
they are.
this indicates that there is no activity since that date?
No, that's when they started having a lien, and they, by the time they actually made arrangements to pay the lien, whether monthly arrangements or whatever, you're looking at only really a few months in the scheme of things here.
Mm-hmm.
And
those
Neil, the
liens are
reason
all, and
why I'm sorry, Jim. And Neil, the reason
Yeah, no
why
worries.
the debt is behind is because it is recorded at the county recorder's office. So the
Right.
plant dates at the county recorder's office dictate
Right.
when this lien information is available. So for some of us that are in the Northern California area, I know that Alameda has been behind about a month. So
Right on. Right.
you just need to call and find out what the title plant date is, how far they're running behind, and then you'll know when's a good timing for your
Right.
lead purchase.
Got it. Thank
Right,
you.
and the other thing that kind of comes into play on date, again, that's timely in fashion, is the weekly update. So again, let's just go back here a second. Just say hypothetically, you guys start using the program, you're loving it, and you have a lot of saved farms. Okay, well, I have a crazy amount because this is my customer service. But let's just say you have 10 farms here. So you're going to get those updates on these farms for new loans, refis. That's important. So those are only going to be, like Kelly said, by the time they clear all the hurdles, get into our system maybe in a couple of weeks. So no one else is marketed to them. Again, I don't have to say this, but our business has been crazy busy the last 18 months. People are really realizing this is the way to reach property owners. This is it. Because when I pull up these numbers, like if you take any city, where would you even begin? If you don't have a data company behind you, you're way, way behind the time. This is an essential piece of your business, and especially for loan officers. We are so strong for loan officers. It's knockdown. You could do the whole county. If you had a huge team, like I've had some loan officers with, aggressive call teams. They want 50,000, 100,000 properties. No problem. No problem. So you're in the game. You're in the game with a data company like this. Yeah, it's 5 cents for phone numbers, 7 cents for email.
So,
All right, other questions?
James, you're saying that no one else has accessed these because they just came about in the last couple weeks, the ones that we'd be searching for. Is that right?
So what I'm saying is this, like Kelly has done, and we've done quite a bit of work together on the agent side a lot, not so much on the lender side. And then I had the good fortune to meet Jeffry. And so I know we're supplying him with data, but in the scheme of things, that's really a lot of open territory out there. That's number one. Number two, specifically, the liens. Let's face it, you're up to speed now with technology and you're marketing to property owners. And like I said, divorces, bankruptcies, death, and a simple interest rate. Yes, those people are getting marketed to. But now you're in the game. And I said, a lot of it is this. If you're going on an Easter egg hunt, would you buy a map? Yes, you would, because everyone else has a map. But your inside advantage are the liens. No one is getting the lien information any easier than us. Try going on the internet and search for lien information and see how long it takes you. Incredibly tough to find. We give it to you 75 cents a lien. It's pretty much exclusive. It pretty much is. And those are the ones where, again, it's the Peacher analogy. Beat the interest rate, they've got the LTV. Why would they not refi to get rid of that lien? Why would they not? So that's like the inside track. And again, once you refi one or two people in a neighborhood, those nearby neighbors that you can market to, don't be afraid to coattail off a reference point. Hey, I helped out Bob Jones, your neighbor. Bob says, okay, use my name, great. Or just blanket, hey, I truly am helping your neighbor. Love to help you. And then you direct target to those neighborhoods. Okay, Kelly, wrap up.
I will. I thank everybody for coming today. We lost a few people. They had told me in advance they had other obligations. And we will send the recording out, and we will also send out the registration for Bitly to join Wednesday. And I did confirm it's 10 a.m. so that if you purchase your leads, even if you just purchase a small amount, $20, get 10 free, you have phones and emails, you are going to learn. As long as you have phones and emails, you're going to learn how to farm reversely through Instagram and Facebook. So that's Wednesday the 7th at 10 a.m. I appreciate you all, and you can call me and we can talk one-on-one about anything you learned here. And Jim, can you please give the YouTube channel? Everybody wants the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I did. It's in the chat. And here's YouTube. If you go into YouTube and you type Benutech, and then go down to like what looks like the James Bond icon here and click on the house light, and then videos. Here's our videos, a lot of them. I watch a lot of YouTube. I just got to say two things. And it really kind of irks me if like they spend 10 minutes talking about the channel, so you have to wait like that long before. We kind of get right to it. We don't say, hey, like, subscribe, all that. We get right into it. So that's one. Two is Kelly, on that meeting you have coming up Wednesday, who's your expert for the Facebook marketing? Is that you, or do you have someone as a guest?
Well, I have a marketing technology director, and we are WFG National Title, and our sister company is West. So Williston
Okay.
Financial Group owns West. So I am assigned a marketing technology director, and he will be
Okay.
leading the class, and you get access to that class via working with us at WF.
Yes.
So
Send me
you
an
can be
invite.
booked
Send me an
directly.
invite to that.
Pardon me?
Yeah. Send me an invite. Send
Okay,
me
I
an
will.
invite, please.
Absolutely.
I'd like to sit in on that. I won't talk like Ed today. Ed has not talked at all. So I will not talk either.
Ed is quiet today. Many of the attendees today are on Ed's team, so he's the team lead and the trainer for them. But we did open it up and invite other lenders. So out of respect, he's just being sweet and
Right.
kind.
No,
there.
I like Ed knows that. He's a great guy, and if I can get his goat, I will.
Bring it on, James, anytime.
I see lots of my great clients. I see Maria, see
it's Friday.
Kimberly, I see Stephanie and Peggy Ann. I see my regulars on here, and I thank you for coming today.
Thank
Right
you for
on.
the
All
value.
right, guys. Been a lot of fun. Yeah, and I want to hear success stories. We really do. Hey, we're crushing it with the data. We really want to hear that. Truly,
I'll get you my stats pretty soon, James.
I
that
see
would be
Kimberly and
seriously
George too.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah, I texted George, said, hop on.
I'm like, I'm glad you were able to make it. I appreciate you guys. I'll get the information from Jim. I'll mail out the recording and the invite for Wednesday. I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday weekend. Some celebrate Easter, some do not, so I don't want to offend anybody, but I just hope you have a nice sunny weekend with your family.
Right on. Thank you, guys.
All
Have a
right,
pizza
thank you
this
guys.
weekend.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Nice to see you guys. Take care.